do got one more quote, though, from Cade Cunningham on his injury, and I'm going to get to it right here in a second. He says, I feel healthy again. My leg isn't a problem for me right now, so I think that's the biggest difference, just that I can just play freely and not think about my body too much. When I read this, I was wondering, like, damn, dude, how much pain did it cause him for him to throw off of his game? Like, I know when you come into the NBA, you're going to hit that rookie wall. You're going to struggle with your shot. Efficiency might not be there, but I'm just wondering, do you think it had more to do with him being acclimated to the NBA as a rookie, or like the injury was really throwing him off?
I think it's an injury where, he had a lot of discomfort with it, but it's hard because I'm not a doctor and I don't want to act like, I know what he's going through, because I have no idea. I don't know what he went through. I don't know what he went through like rehab wise, but from the footage from this past season to you watch the scrimmages, it seems like he has more lift off of his legs. Doesn't really seem like he's favoring anything. I think there was a video with Texas Rankin. He dunked. Like, I don't think I saw Cade dunk in 12 games last season. He's dunking in, scrimmages, open runs. Now, mind you, some of these runs aren't, high caliber NBA players. They might be, former college basketball players or, friends of whoever's, holding these open runs. But he seems like he's healthy. The leg isn't bothering him. He seems like he's got more. Seems like his legs are a little bit more fresher, if that makes sense.
I also think there's like no hesitation in his game either. I mean, that's one thing I noticed where there might have been like last year in those 12 games, and maybe even some in his rookie game, where he might have favored going for a jump shot because, like you're saying, couldn't get that lift or get that push or couldn't get that step on a guy because of the injury. But now it just seems like it's just because it's just more of his body reacting and not thinking too much about what he's doing out there. That's why, man, I just think the injury, maybe I was downplaying because I really thought it was shin splints for like the longest time, where I'm like, dude, I mean, obviously it hurt him enough to go have surgery, but that's how stupid I am, where I thought it was just like shin splints or something, where that's why he was sitting. And I'm like, yeah, those are very painful. They suck. But I didn't know it would like affect your game that much. Maybe I was just being a little too negative or being too hard on Cade Cunningham. But again, after reading this quote, I have a question for you.
Okay.
In the way you've seen him play, have your expectations for Cade this upcoming season changed?
I'll answer that question. First, I'm an idiot. Apparently, Cade did have 2 poster dunks last season. I want to give Ben credit for that. I don't remember that. I really don't. I think my memory, I kind of did like the Men in Black for last season, and I just forgot everything. Yeah, I don't remember that, but I'm going to have to go back and watch. So it was the Atlanta game, and that's even more embarrassing because I went to that game. But to your question, my expectations, have they changed with Cade Cunningham? I thought I had pretty fair expectations last week when we were talking about stat lines. I don't know, like, you could take that a lot of different ways. Like, what are my expectations? I think for him, I think he's capable of 25 points a night.
Okay.
I think you said 24, 7, and 7 last week, I believe. I think if the Pistons want to compete, Cade's got to score 25 a night.
So what about this, though? Because after I watched that and after, like, reading all these quotes coming from him and, seeing no hesitation, seeing him get that lift, get that push, exploding more to the basket, I'm thinking all-star, too. A few years ago, or I think I said on Twitter, like, I think maybe around year 4, I said that's when he would become an all-star. But the way people have been talking about him on social media platforms, I'm starting to think like his popularity is only going to grow, and that there's going to be a real chance. There's a real chance that I think he could be an all-star this upcoming season. And I think with being 24, 25, 26 points per game, 7, 8, 9 rebounds, 7, 8 assists, whatever it is, that's going to help. But just his popularity with him being healthy and how just like these footages of him coming out, these highlights, like they are cool. Like, I mean, again, not a real explosive athlete, but it's almost like a cool way he plays the game of basketball, like all calm and patient and under control. Like a lot of people can't do that. So I just think like my expectations, they've been raised a little bit with him coming back from this injury and seeing how, you know, the rehab is going and how there doesn't seem to be any lingering effects this early in all of it. Like I didn't even think we would see Cade Cunningham play NBA competition until preseason, you know, maybe because I didn't think Team Select was a real thing, like a real opportunity for him, let alone, you know, being asked to be on the Team USA roster or, you know, some of these pro-am games. I thought he was going to take it light. I thought he would just be creeping in the shadows, just waiting for his opportunity. But it's been way ahead of, at least it's been way ahead of my schedule of him playing basketball. Like I'm not a doctor or anything. Like I just go off of what I read on social media or what alert on my phone, but it is really cool. And seeing him play this way has raised my expectations. Maybe again, not from like a stats perspective, but just from, you know, there might be some more accolades or some more honor with it coming for him this upcoming season.
Yeah, like because that's such a vague question. Like, did my expectations, you know, for Cade like rise? But I just don't know because like you could watch the select clips, the highlights, like okay, yeah, like the chemistry with him and Durant is there. You know, he's you know blowing by Tyrese Halliburton. Him and Keegan Murray have instant chemistry. Him and Jalen Green, who are I wouldn't say Cade Cunningham and Jalen Green are rivals. It's just more the Pistons Twitter and Rockets Twitter fan base trying to make it a rivalry, and it's not. Like he threw him a couple lobs. Like Cade is just one of those players where he can play with anybody on the court and he can make them look better. And I think that was my biggest takeaway with the select stuff. And you know, even in the open runs in Dallas, Texas, I think it was a week or two ago, like his shot looks great. Like his 3-point shot looks amazing. And I think that's something that we talked about last week where we're kind of concerned, like, will that 3-point shot be consistent? I think it will. It's just, he couldn't really get too much lift off of that leg last year. And I think he will this year. I'm not going to say he's going to come out shooting 45% from three, but I think he can shoot league average from three. And I think if you ask a Piston fan, Cade Cunningham shooting league average from three, they're happy with you. They're happy with it.
I think that adds to my expectations, though, too, is just how he played with everybody else. Because, you know, I mean, he made everybody look good. I mean, it was cool seeing him throw a lob to Jalen Green. It was cool watching him play with like Naz Reid and, you know, Jalen Williams. That was cool to see him get out on the floor with those guys. And I think if you're just a basketball fan, maybe not necessarily a Pistons fan, you want to see a guy like Cade play with your favorite player and kind of like dream about the scenario if those two were to team up. And I think that's what you get from an all-star game. So, yeah, I'm going to say, I think Cade Cunningham's going to be an all-star this upcoming season.
So you changed your opinion a little bit.
Oh, yeah, just a little bit. I thought it would be year 4. I'm saying this year.
So I said that a couple weeks ago, and you looked at me like I was crazy.
Well, I didn't see these highlights yet. You know, now I'm with you.
Well, I knew he was him. Cade Cunningham. Like, I already knew that. I knew Cade was that guy. So well, I'm not surprised by any of this.
I thought too, though, like he wouldn't get any credit this upcoming year. But I think with playing with Team Select and playing and scrimmaging against Team USA, getting some of the other pro-am highlights, that is just only going to help his case of being an all-star, because now people are already talking about him now. So there's going to be an eye on him, a more positive eye on him. Because I think when you watch him now, like if you had any injury concerns, you can pretty much just wipe those away and you can just stop talking about that. And you can just focus on what he can do on a basketball floor. And I feel like this was a good appetizer coming up for the main course, which will be here in a few months.